welcome back to another segment of Tampa Bay Fishing Channel, the cooking segment. Todd and Chad actually got onto some sheepshead, so I searched the internet and found a recipe that I thought might be pretty interesting. It's blackened fish with a, what was it called? Lime basil cream sauce. So we're gonna try that out tonight and see how we like it. I know we did blackened before, but that was grouper, outside, all this flame. Inside, we're gonna do it a little easier, more gentle. Hopefully it turns out good, we'll see. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm changing the recipe up just a little bit, more or less the steps. I'm gonna go ahead and core and slice the jalapeno, and I'm gonna cook it in a little olive oil in my cast iron skillet before I cook the fish instead of in another pan while the fish is cooking. Why do I need another pan? Plus it'll give the olive oil a little spice to it so the fish will turn out a little bit better. While the jalapenos are getting crispy in the pan, I'm gonna go ahead and just mix up the seasoning for the blackening. This time I'm making my own. Last time it was a little too salty, even though you couldn't see that, it was. This time it's gonna be good. I'm gonna start with the paprika and do a teaspoon of that. Then I'm gonna do probably just a half a teaspoon, maybe a little less of the cayenne. I don't want it too spicy. Last, I'm gonna do a teaspoon of the basil and then the salt and pepper. So now I'm gonna go ahead and make up the cream sauce. It's a lime basil cream sauce. You can use crema or sour cream. I'm just using sour cream because that's what I have. I'm gonna chop up some basil, and then I'm gonna zest a little bit of the lime, and then I'm gonna juice half of it. So the easiest way to cut basil is you want to just lay the leaves on top of each other, like so. You can roll them up. I'm not really doing a chiffonade because I really want a more chop. So I'm gonna cut it down the middle. You wanna make sure you have a really good sharp knife so you don't bruise it. And then I'm just gonna run my knife this way and chop it into little fine pieces. So then I can just mix it right into the sour cream. I have my handy dandy, what do they call this thing? A microplane that I'm gonna zest the lime with. I do it differently. I don't zest it down into the bowl. I want about a half a lime's worth. We don't wanna overdo it. We're just making a small amount. You always wanna make sure you don't get any of that white part in there because that's the bitterness. We just want the green, which is where all the flavor is. That's good. You can see there I've got that amount right there. And now I'm just gonna put it in the bowl. Easy peasy. So now I'm gonna slice the lime in half, and we're gonna juice half the lime with my handy dandy juicer, and that's gonna be the end of the sauce. That's gonna be the only thing we need to do. I put it cut side down so I can get more of the juice in. Then just a little whisking, and it's gonna sit aside while we cook the fish. So now it's time to get the fish done. You wanna make sure your fish is really dry. You don't want any extra moisture in the pan when you're cooking it because we don't want it to really sweat. We want it to get that good sear on there. So just use a lot of paper towels and make sure your fish is good and dry before you season it. I have 4 sheepshead fillets here, and I'm just gonna season the first side. Then I'm gonna put them in the pan and I'm gonna season the other side. Added just a little bit of butter because I just wanted a little more flavor in the pan. That's the oil that was left over from the jalapenos that we fried earlier. That's what they called them. And then I put the fish in the pan and I seasoned the backside after they were in the pan. That way I didn't have to flip them over on the plate and lose some of the seasoning. I did a little lighter seasoning on the back of the fish because this is kind of spicy, so I don't want Todd to, you know, burn his mouth. So we're just gonna let them go just a few minutes and then we're gonna flip them over. Okay, it's been about 2.5 minutes. These pieces are kind of small. So I think it's ready to flip, so we're gonna go take a look and see if it's good to go. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now the recipe that I'm gonna send you guys, I did find it on the internet. It's not my original recipe. And it says to put a splash of water and put the lid on it to steam the fish the rest of the way, but these are not that thick of fillets, so I'm just gonna skip that and just sear the other side, and trust me, they're gonna be done. Okay, the last thing that we're gonna do before we plate is I'm gonna cut this avocado. I have my handy dandy Pampered Chef avocado knife because it won't really cut you. Not plugging Pampered Chef, but this is one of my favorite products. So here's how I do it. I'm gonna cut it in half, go all the way around, and then I'm gonna take out the, just twist it apart. I'm only gonna use a half, so I'm not gonna take the seed out of the other half. I'm gonna leave it for later. It's supposed to help it stay fresher. You can eat it the next day and it's still good. And then I'm just gonna make slices along the avocado. So that's the end of the cooking segment tonight. I hope you enjoyed this sheepshead recipe. And again, we thank you guys so much for watching Tampa Bay Fishing Channel. My husband's out there catching the fish and cleaning it. Yeah, I don't clean it. And then I cook it. So try the recipe out. Tell us what you think. We're gonna go and enjoy it. Have a good night. We'll see you soon.